I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. I have a letter here for you.
Riches beyond imagining. I found these words inscribed in ancient dwarven ruins in the Reach. I believe they mark the entrance to a forgotten city. My brother went in a few days ago and hasn't returned. I need someone I can count on to go in after him and bring him back alive. I've heard great things about you, which is why I'm asking for your help. I'll be waiting for you in the ruins. Please hurry. And remember, riches beyond imagining. Cassia.
That was just lying around? Good find.
That's close enough. Who are you? Oh, it's you. I'm so glad you're here. Look, I don't know how much time we have left. My brother went down this shaft a few days ago, and I'm worried. I need you to go in after him and bring him back to me alive. It could be dangerous, but if anyone can do it, it's you. Now, are you ready? All right, but please hurry. My name's Cassia. My brother and I came to Skyrim from Cyrodiil with the Imperial Legion. But we took a break to explore these ruins. We didn't want to get involved in this stupid war in the first place. We only came here because we were conscripted. But our unit was wiped out by Nords and those forsworn savages, and we saw a chance to get away from the fighting altogether. So we took it. Well, we came here hoping to find something valuable to pay for carriage back to Cyrodiil. Altreus went down the shaft, but he asked me to stay here. Because he made me promise I'd stay here and wait for him no matter what. And I keep my promises. Well, except as far as the Legion is concerned. I was in Markarth looking for help when I heard people talking about you and all the loot you've been trading with merchants all over Skyrim. I figured you'd be interested in exploring these ruins, so I asked a courier to track you down. And here you are. So you ready to go now? I knew I could count on you. Now quickly, go!
If you are reading this, you stand at the entrance to an ancient dwarven city. No doubt you have never heard of it, for in all my travels and all my study, I have never read of it in any text, save for the inscription here. It reads, "Those who seek refuge will find peace here, basking in the sun under the ground. Those who seek gold will find riches beyond imagining, but will pay for this folly with their lives, for there is no return to the world of man." Is it possible there is life down there? Is it possible the dwarves are still alive after all this time? As I stand here on this precipice, war raging all over Tamriel, my mind is made up. Today I take a leap of faith. Beloved reader, perhaps one day you will join me. Consider this an invitation or a warning.
To whoever reads this, I am so sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you will share my fate. I have spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. But there are only two choices: death or the door to the house on the lake. I made the mistake of opening that door. I thought I could help them if I found the right one, but whatever I did, it took me right back to that lake house. In the end, all I learned is that some things are worse than death. I urge you to learn from my mistakes. Best to take your own life now, than find out what awaits you beyond that door. I've locked it and hidden the key. I'll guard it with my eternal soul if I have to. But I fear even that will not be enough. For the lake house calls to you. And when it does, you must not listen. Altrius. house calls to you. to die in here alone? Or do I want to open that door? It seems like a simple choice. And yet, in the end, death was the better option all along. Please, understand. I locked the lake house door to stop you from making the same mistake I made. And now, you ignore my words and come searching for the key. I hid that key for... reason. This is for your own good. This is for your own good.
"7 years ago, I discovered this wondrous city uninhabited. Others soon followed, heeding my invitation, and our community grew and prospered under my rule. But as I write this, I am alone once again, for my subjects have been the victims of an unspeakable atrocity. This is why, at the expense of my own life, I must open a portal that will take you into the past, before all this began. Beloved reader, you must go back, investigate what set this atrocity in motion, and prevent it by any means necessary.
You there! Where did you come from?
Strange. It looks like you just came out of the Jarl's private lake house. Yeah, well, just make sure you don't get lost in anyone else's home. Live by our laws here, and we'll all get along just fine. Don't hurt anyone, don't steal anything. Same as anywhere else. Only the punishment here is much, much worse. The Jarl can tell you more, and help you get settled in. Might even have some quarters for you. I can take you to him if you like. Follow me. So, this is our farmland where we grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you ever want is leek, cabbage and potato. If you have goods, the merchants at the market up ahead will be happy to see you. Most of us have few belongings, just what we brought in with us.
Morning, Gulvar.
Morning, Nismar. Above us is the sun under the ground. It's strange and no substitute for the real sun, of course, but these days it doesn't bother me. What bothers me is the citadel folk. Take Jormund, for example, standing up there on his balcony looking down on us. Just look at him. Yeah, Jormund, you're a really big man, aren't you? Pfft, milk drinker.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your strapping new friend, Gulvar?
We're on our way to see the Jarl. There'll be time for you to get your claws into our friend here later.
I look forward to it. You should come for a drink at my tavern, the Golden Sentinel, tonight. Just about everyone's there after dark.
Be careful with Rastasia. She... well... it's not my place to say. There's enough gossip in this place as it is. It's a small city after all. Only 24 of us at the moment. 23 if you don't count Brandis, who's halfway to the next life. Loki's barely managing to keep him alive.
We can talk, but be quick. Domitus could be back any second. I'm Saphira. I'm from Markarth, from a part called the Warrens. If you've never gone there, don't. Just don't. About a year ago, I met a guy there. Said he was there for business. Nobody has any business being in the Warrens. But he had coin, and when he saw me, I saw a way out. Long story short, I followed him here. The more I think about it, though, I would have been better off in the Warrens with the beggars and skeevers. Guess you haven't met him, huh? Take my advice. Stay as far away from him as you can.
Did you hear we have a new neighbor?
If only. Look, whoever dreamt up the Dwarves' Law didn't think it through. Maybe it was meant to protect people, but what it really does is make everybody too afraid to stand up for themselves or challenge people in power, and Domitus knows that. He's next in line as Jarl of this place, so he gets his way by threatening to punish anyone who doesn't do what he wants. He's never physically hit anyone here, but the point is, he doesn't have to. I've seen him make grown men cry. Nords, they don't cry easily. I cry most days. I think about leaving him, but where would I go? He says he'd make sure I wound up living in poverty again, like poor old Dooley. No, interfering will only make things worse. The only way you can help me is to find a way out of this city, or do something about the dwarves' law. I don't know if there's a way out or not, but there are places beneath this city nobody has ever explored. If I were you, I'd start with the tunnels. Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for. Funny, I was gonna ask you the same question. Alright, but we never had this chat, okay?
This is the Citadel, where the Jarl and his guests live. If you manage to worm your way in with them, you might get to live here too.
Gulver, what do you think you're doing? You're meant to be working the Jarl's farm, not trudging dirt into his citadel.
Hjormund, take it easy, would you? I was just showing our new friend here to the Jarl.
Well, how about you get back to work, and I take our new friend the rest of the way? If you don't work, none of us eat, Gulver. Remember that.
How could I forget? Fine, I'll get back to work. It was nice meeting you, my friend. Stop by for a chat anytime you like.
I'm sorry about that. That probably sounded a bit harsh, but it's my job to make sure we all have enough to eat. I'm Hjormund. Let's head up to the next floor then, shall we? Stay close behind me. Wouldn't want you getting lost now, would we? It's good to see a new face here. Haven't had any new arrivals in a while. Since Marius. But he mostly keeps to himself. Bit secretive, actually. Most people are pretty friendly though, and so they should be. This is the closest you'll get to Sovngarde in all of Tamriel. No crime, no conflict. Most folk don't even bother locking the doors. Even if you could steal something without breaking the dwarves' law, it's not as if you could sell it to anyone here.
Say hello when you're free.
Always got her nose buried in a book, that one. Helps out Brawl down in the city, our resident expert about the history and laws of the Dwemer. Last I heard, they were trying to track down some dwarven artifacts. You should ask Brawl about it, if you're into that sort of thing. This is the Citadel kitchen. Remember to be polite to our cook Asanchi. She does her best with what she has, which isn't much. Now let's head up to the Jarl's floor. Alright, so we're about to meet Jarl Metellus. There's a couple of things you should know about him, if you want to make a good impression. First, he was the first one here. Well, he was here before the rest of us anyway. So the Citadel is his, and we're all his guests. Second, he's very protective of this place, and won't tolerate anyone disturbing the peace. So be on your best behaviour, and you should be fine. This is the top of the Citadel. The bathhouse is off limits, and I'm not even sure what's behind the gold door. Only the Jarl has ever gone in there. Alright, you're on your own from here. I've got lazy farmers to supervise. Good luck with the Jarl, and I'll see you around.
The Jarl's waiting for you on his balcony, on your left.
There's a face I don't recognize. Welcome to my city. I'm Jarl Metellus. Tell me, what is your name? It's always exciting to meet a new member of our small community. Now, before I forget, since you're here for good, you'll need some quarters. Here's a key to the last vacant chambers down in the city, between Brawl and Luki. It's all yours. Now tell me, what brings you to my city? I sent you here. I'm not sure what you mean. Well, let's see. This is my handwriting. The victims of an unspeakable atrocity. I will open a portal that will take you into the past. You must go back. This is real, isn't it? I've even toyed with the idea of creating a portal between 2 points in time, with Brawl's help. But that's odd. My letter makes no mention of what caused the disaster. I suppose I was in a hurry. So tell me, what's going to happen to us? That's exactly what I saw when I first discovered this place, several years ago. It seems whatever happened then is going to happen again. I think it has something to do with the dwarves' law. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Yes, you see, the dwarves who built this place left inscriptions. Brawl hasn't been able to fully translate them, but we understand some parts. This warning keeps coming up. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. We think that breaking the law here will cause some kind of event. The truth is, I've used the dwarves' law to frighten my people into obedience, and it's worked so far. But someone's about to break that law. Let me think. Your arrival here is exactly what I need. You've helped me a great deal by bringing this note to my attention. I wonder if you could do me another favor. I need you to investigate the city, talk to my people, help them, if it'll win their trust. You can even go through their possessions, if you have to. You must work out who is going to break the dwarves' law. Once you have a name, come back and tell me immediately. As Jarl, I authorize you to go anywhere you need to go, including private homes. But if someone asks you to leave, you should do so immediately. I can't promise either of those things, but I will certainly do everything within my power to help you once you've helped my people. And of course, if you decide to stay, I would make sure you enjoy a comfortable life here. Now what do you say? Will you help me? Thank you. Now, you mustn't tell anybody where you're from or what may be about to happen here. People do foolish things when they panic. If it helps you, you're welcome to borrow the book on my desk. It contains the names and addresses of my subjects. Just don't show it to anyone. Goodbye for now, and good luck. I don't need to tell you what will happen if you fail.
got my eye on ya.
Oh, hello there! I'm a Breton from Hyrak. I've studied history at the Imperial City, which led me to Skyrim in search of Dwemer ruins. And now I'm here.
Some days I just can't believe my luck. Working with Brawl, researching the richest source of Dwemer history and technology I could have imagined. I feel like we're on the brink of some amazing discoveries about the Dwemer. Who knows? Maybe we'll find not all of them have disappeared.
I could, but Brawl knows much more than I do. You should really talk to him. Ask him any question you have. He's amazingly knowledgeable. Now that you mentioned it, I do. I need you to get something for me, and it won't be easy. I've tried everything I can think of, and still nothing.
There's a big Nord living down in the city called Rikus. You may have seen him walking around in an immaculate example of Dwarven armor. I need that armor. It's the only one like it, and I believe it to be crucial in unlocking the secret of this place.
The trouble is, before I could get a good look at it, that brute Rikas claimed it as his own, and has been wearing it ever since. I've tried everything. Appeals to his better nature, flattery, charm, even threats. It's like negotiating with a brick wall. The only thing I haven't tried is violence, and you know how that would end. But I'm convinced there's a way to get it. There has to be.
Thank you. If you do manage to get it, you're welcome to keep it. I just need to have a quick look at it, that's all. That's fine. I've got a lot of reading to do if I'm going to know half as much as Brawl one day. A way out of here? Are you kidding? Why would I want to get out of here? I can't think of a single place in all Tamaria I'd rather be.
a looter coming into the city. I saw a man come down the shaft, but he was armed and he looked like a looter. If he makes it into the city and starts attacking people, he'll break the dwarves' law, and who knows what will happen. You have to stop him. Everybody, go home and lock your doors.
This is a surprise.
This can't be happening.
Lock your doors.
Picked a bad time to get lost, friend. Not so fast.
Is it over? Is it safe? Oh, thank the gods. What a relief. We're so lucky that you arrived in time to stop them. I'll be sure to tell everyone what you've done for us. Thank you so much. If there's ever anything my husband Tabik and I can do to help you, just ask. Oh, there's not much to tell. My husband Tabik runs the clothing store in town. You should stop by. I'm sure you'll leave looking much better. Not that you don't look good now, I mean, it's just, you know, nice clothes are... Oh, who am I kidding? I'm no good at selling anything. I guess that's why they've got me sweeping the floors day in, day out. Well, that, and we weren't invited to be layabouts in the Jarl's Citadel. Did you see anyone working in the Citadel? I'll bet you didn't. They just amuse themselves all day while those of us down here do all the work. And why? Because Habik's a Redguard and I'm a Breton. I bet if we were both Imperial, it'd be a different story. The worst part is we left Solitude to get away from bigoted Nords after our son died. But here the Imperials are even worse. Of course. Oh. No offense, but I'd rather not talk about it. Too many painful memories. And besides, there are enough sad stories around this place as it is. But if you're interested, you can talk to my husband, Habik, in his shop, Firefly Finery. What would we do? Start a rebellion? No way. Not after the dwarves' warning. You know, the many shall suffer for the sins of the one, and all that. I'd be a fool not to. If you're not convinced, you should go and talk to Brohl in his chambers. He knows more about the dwarves than anyone. All right. If I did, Habik and I probably wouldn't be here. But Ulrin's wife managed to escape a while back. He doesn't like to talk about it, but you might be able to get him to open up, I suppose. Nice to talk to you. See you soon.
Oh, hello. Name's Castellus Vitus, military engineer of the Imperial Legion. Out of action right now, but don't worry, I'm still in the service. What about you? Now that's just the sort of cowardly nonsense I'd expect from a Stormcloak sympathizer. Off with you then. Go on. Go bother somebody else.
Well, I suppose you're right. But don't think that friendship will last if we ever get out of here. You understand that, right?
If I did, I'd be up there, fighting the good fight for the Legion, and not stuck in this hole like an old bear during winter. Spit it out, then. Ah, yes, my workshop. Well, of course, as an engineer through and through, I couldn't resist the urge to dismantle some of this dwarven technology. How complicated can it be, I thought. As it turns out, it's extremely complicated. You see these gleaming dwarven busts in every room? Well, I think I know what they are. They all seem to be connected to the pipes running all over the city and down the front of the citadel. And I've seen these things before in other ruins, but these are different. Their eyes are glowing with blue light. Have you noticed? But whenever you see one of these things, remember, someone or something is watching everything you do, waiting for you to break the dwarves' law. Jarl's got me working on repairs to the Citadel. This place was built to last, but it still needs an engineer's touch every now and then. Door hinges need to be oiled, cracks need to be patched up, and that bloody water pipe in the bathroom is constantly springing a leak. But it's a good idea to make yourself useful around here. No doubt the Jarl will make good use of your skills too, whatever those might be. Suspicious behaviour, you say? Ah, so the Jarl has found a task for you, keeping tabs on us, hmm? Don't worry, your secret's safe with me, friend. Well, the Citadel's mainly full of good Imperial stock, so you don't have to worry too much about them. But now that you mention it, lately I've been wondering if the Citadel isn't haunted. Every now and then, mostly late at night, I swear I can hear a woman sobbing. I'll be damned if I know where it's coming from, but it's not Gaia next door, so who could it be but a ghost? Gods know a lot have died in here. Yes, well, not completely. A little. I think I understand the pipes that run all over the place. See, they mainly carry water. There's a single pipe on the top floor bringing water from outside the Citadel inside. Water then trickles down through each floor to the lake. But that's not all. It seems the water flowing through these pipes causes these gears to rotate. And when that happens, they somehow create light. The dwarves were brilliant engineers. I doubt I could hold a candle to them. Not that I would need to, with all the lights in this place. Right you are.
Miranda told me you cut down those looters before they breached the city gates. Well done, my friend. Well done. Hello there. I'm Habik. I live out back with my wife, Miranda. We used to live in solitude, but, we had to leave. Found this place by accident, like most. The Jarl needed someone to mind the store. So I volunteered. Doesn't make any money, of course. Not enough customers. The Jarl says he likes to keep us busy and out of trouble. But of course, he and all his cronies in the Citadel never seem to lift a finger. Our son was working at my stables outside the city. He was alone when he had a visit from some Imperial, a cousin of the High King. This Imperial thought he'd just take one of the horses as a tithe. Guess he didn't think a 12-year-old boy was going to stop him. But Limar wouldn't stand for it. And as the thief rode off, my son managed to shoot an arrow into his shoulder. But I wasn't there at the time. I came back from the market to find my son's body, trampled in the dirt. It was... I can't begin to describe it. I was shattered. I went straight to Torig's court and demanded justice. But I guess that word doesn't mean much to an Imperial. Instead, he seized my stables and told me if I ever set foot in Solitude again, my wife and I would end up the same way as Limar. So we left. Wandered Skyrim for a while, and eventually wound up here. I was hoping this place would be better. I was wrong. I wish it was that simple. But with the Dwarves' Law, everybody here is terrified of doing anything wrong, in case it gets us all killed. The dwarves wrote, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." But we don't know what they meant by sin. Theft. Violence, probably. But maybe they meant all sorts of things, like dishonesty or disobedience to the Jarl. That's what Metellus would like us to think, anyway. So I could ignore his orders, Sure, I could even lead an uprising against him. Gods know most of us are sick of him, but I'd be risking the lives of everyone here, and I just don't want to be responsible for that. So here I am, running my shop. Could be worse. Don't be a fool. That sort of dangerous talk could get us all killed. If you don't believe me, go and talk to Broll. Dunmer fellow. Can't miss him. All right. No, I don't. But I'd wager that if anyone does know a way out, it's the Jarl. But of course, if he told anyone, he'd be ruling over an empty city. All right, thanks for stopping by.
Hello, my friend.
You took down some bandits. Hello there, young lady. You look nice.
I heard you took care of some looters for us. If only there was something I could do to thank you. Let me know if you think of anything. You want to hear about little old me? Aren't you adorable? But wouldn't you rather hear what I know about everyone else around here? Go on. Ask me. Did you know there are tunnels running all the way under the city? Last one to go down there was Brandis, and it sent him to his deathbed. There's something creepy about Marius up in the Citadel. Plus, he never comes down to the tavern. And you just can't trust a man who doesn't drink. Did you know that beautiful palace above the lake is sealed? Brawl says the last person to go in there locked it behind him. I wonder what's in there. Did you notice the big crack in the floor near the city gate? They say some poor fool fell to his death trying to scale the front of the Citadel. Have you seen Rygus walking around in that shiny armor of his all paranoid, like those dwarven statues are going to spring to life any minute? Nobody here locks their door, except the Jarl. I hear there's a locked room on the top floor of the Citadel, but nobody's seen what's inside. Only one way out of this city, and that's through the bottom of a mug of moonshine, if you get me. Solve all your problems. At least for a while. But then again, some folks will overdo it. Ulrin, the Dunmer fellow, can't miss him, hit the drinks pretty hard after his wife, Maisie, disappeared. Just sits there, night after night. Poor guy. Wish I knew what happened to her. Caught lots of people talking, but nobody seems to know anything. Odd. Take a good look. See anything you like? Oh, so soon? Well, you know where to find me, honey.
Everybody's talking about how you killed those looters. Well done. I'm a little busy, but why? You think if you butter me up, I'll start making food for you too? Forget it. My kitchen's for Citadel residents only. Go make your own food. Well, fine. My story? I'm the Citadel cook. In this life. Not exactly how I thought my life would end up. But it's better than it was on the surface. That. Seems like a long time ago. I had a very easy life for myself in Markarth. Married to a silver merchant. Maybe it was a little too easy. I was bored. A lot. Started looking for something to do. A friend introduced me to skooma. It was fun. For a while. But you know how it goes. I was a living cliché. Lost my husband, my home, my easy life. Then I found myself doing things I'm not proud of. That's when I realized if I couldn't keep myself away from the skooma, I'd have to keep it away from me. So when I found the entrance to this place, I knew what I had to do. Haven't touched the stuff since. Still get the cravings. Sometimes I'd kill for one last bottle. But no point in thinking about it down here. Right. Is that what I think it is? Can I have it? Whatever you want. I could give you food or information. You find out all sorts of secrets being the chef in a place like this. Will that do? Well, there's Marius. He's growing plants in his room that can really only be used for making poisons. Not sure what he's up to, but it's nothing good. Have you met Saphira Indomitus downstairs? Saphira despises that rude bastard. I don't blame her. Not that she'd ever say it to his face. There's barely enough food to feed everyone in the city, but the Jarl insists on double rations. I don't see how he could be eating that much. The Jarl told me to stop saying this, but I think this citadel is haunted. I swear I've heard wailings in the halls at night after everyone is asleep. I told you my story. And you use it to squeeze information out of me? You're disgusting. Get away from me.
Just out for an evening stroll. My story? It's about a quiet man who preferred to keep to himself. Short and sharp. Yes, I do. Death. Death is the only way out of here. You do that.
Oh, I'm so glad you decided to come see me. What can I do for you, sweet thing?
Hello again, my friend.
Heard you go to kill those looter. What do you want? Get out of my face, milk drinker. My problem is that I'm the only one around here whose head isn't buried in the sand. That's my problem. I mean, everyone acts like nothing's wrong, but we're one stupid mistake away from being wiped out, like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming, whatever that is. And when it hits, it's every man for himself. You've been warned. I don't know, but did you ever get the feeling these statues are watching us? Like they're waiting for something? I don't like it.
Oh,
if I did, I wouldn't be standing here listening to you. What about it?
Whatever you were thinking of doing, yes. If you have to ask whether something will break the dwarf's law, it probably will.
This is the only one like it in the whole city.
Speaking of which, will we see you at the tavern tonight?
Absolutely not. Same as always.
Well, in that case, you still can't have it. Let me be clear. The only way you'll get this armor is if you peel it from my corpse. It's not for sale. Not going to happen, maggot. Because you know, and I know, that the first blow that gets landed is going to get us all killed. You're not that stupid. Uh-huh.
Hello, neighbor. I understand we have you to thank. My story? What a strange question. You presuppose that my life is a simple linear sequence of events which can be summed up in a verbal narrative? Well, that's nonsense, of course. First, most of it was so long ago I barely remember. Second, you would have to assume that the account I give you is biased heavily in my favor, and is therefore quite unreliable. And finally, my story is really much less interesting than this mysterious place. Now, do you have any sensible questions, or can I get back to work? Well, why didn't you say so? I researched Dwarven history and technology, and I'm originally from Kraganmore in Morrowind. Any other questions? Now that's an interesting question. I personally don't know any way out, no. However, I have a theory. It's more of a hypothesis, really. My thinking is that if there was a way out of here, the dwarves who built this place must have known about it. True, but we can learn all sorts of things about them from what they left behind. Inscriptions, architecture, relics, statues. And while I've discovered many things here, there are some parts of the city I haven't been able to get to. I'm most interested in the palace, above the lake. Unfortunately, it's sealed up tight. Only one man ever managed to enter, and he never came out. That was Narnabas, and we haven't heard from him in years. Strange fellow. I believe he was looking for the secrets of the dwarves too. If you could find a way in there, I'm sure it would tell us a great deal about this place. Who knows what secrets we could uncover? That is the sun under the ground. Or at least that's how it's referred to in the Dwarven text we've managed to translate. I must confess, I haven't the faintest idea of how it works. But it seems to be giving us light and allowing us to grow crops, even under the ground. Of course, if it ever stops glowing, for whatever reason, we'll all be in quite a lot of trouble. But don't concern yourself with such dark thoughts. I'm sure we have nothing to worry about. Time travel. You know, as it happens, I do. It was a great obsession of mine for years after my wife passed. I thought if I could go back, I gave up on that idea a long time ago. But recently the Jarl has asked to see my research notes. How strange that you should now take an interest too. Can I ask what the nature of your interest is in this unusual subject? I don't quite know what to say to that. How can I put this charitably? Perhaps you're tired and emotional and need some rest. But I always enjoy discussing my theories with a receptive mind, so I'll humor you. What did you want to ask? For argument's sake, if you found yourself in that position, you'd have only two options. To live out your days in the past, or force a paradox. A paradox, you see, would involve changing the past so as to prevent the events which caused you to travel back in time in the first place. But you'd be taking a big risk by doing that. Who knows what the consequences would be? Some say that whatever you do, it will lead you right back to the future that took you back in time in the first place. An eternal loop, if you will. But me, I believe that creating a paradox should fling you back to your original time, having changed the past for you and everyone else. Well, let's say for argument's sake that you really have traveled here from the future. You could create a paradox in a few different ways. Essentially, you could do anything that would remove your means or motivation to return to the past. For example, you came here to achieve some goal. Achieving that goal would mean you will never have been motivated to come here. A paradox. Or, if the thing that allowed you to travel back in time is still here, as a past version of itself, you could simply destroy it, I suppose. That would mean, of course, that you will never have been able to travel back in time. Another paradox. But doing so could have terrible consequences. But if you really are from the future, as unlikely as that is, telling me or anybody else what happens next could have disastrous consequences too. I think it's best if we talk about something else. Well, the dwarves who built this city left inscriptions in the citadel, which translate to, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." My research leads me to believe that if a single member of our community sins, it'll trigger an event, killing us all. I believe such an event occurred some years ago, which is why Metellus found the city littered with burnt corpses. But to this day, there are many questions we simply don't have answers for. How is the Dwarves' Law still being enforced? How does it work? And we may never know, as long as nobody attacks or steals from anybody else. Until we know more, we all need to be on our best behavior. Very well. Come back if you think of any questions about something you discover.
Oh. I'm Lukey. I'm what passes for an alchemist and healer around here. I'll be honest, I don't much care for dealing with people, or healing them, but I wouldn't trust anyone else around here with the responsibility, and I guess somebody's gotta do it, right? Oh, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like my neighbors. I don't like anyone. Stupid, untrustworthy, selfish, ugly creatures we humans are. But you know what? At least down here, people are on their best behavior most of the time, what with the Dwarves' Law and all. I mean, people are still bastards, but at least they have to be discreet about it. Nobody's openly violent, and nobody's ever stolen anything from me. Just a small selection of potions. Ingredients are in short supply here. Happy to buy yours if you have any. Ah, yes. Poor Brandis. I've been doing my best to keep the poor fool alive. What of him? He came here with his partner, full of big talk about how Stendar sent them to purge some great evil from beneath the city. Now, none of us know exactly what's down there. But if there is a great evil, then it made the mighty Stendar look like a milk drinker. All I know is nobody with half a brain should go down there. Not without a way to protect themselves from the energy that killed poor Brandis. Yes? What about him? Yes, I suppose. Just go down and check up on him for me, would you? His house is not far from here, down in the inner ring of the city. All right. See you soon, neighbor. So you're the... There isn't one. This place is like a firefly trap. One way in, no way out. Could be worse, though. You could be living in bloody Skyrim. Fine, just walk away.
I hear you're handy in a fight. Hello, Nick. My story? Oh, not much to tell, love. I just work the land, make sure we've got enough food for everyone. Can't afford to run out here, you know? It's hard work. Probably harder than being Jarl, but I don't mind it. Keeps me active as I'm getting on a bit. And I sleep soundly every night. No, love. I don't think he works hard at all. And I'd say the same to his face if I ever saw him. But he's always hiding up there in his citadel, doing... You know what? I'm not even sure what he does. I know he doesn't keep order. We've got the dwarves' law for that. But live and let live, I say. Long as I have a roof over my head and food on my table, and good neighbors like Gulvar, I can't complain. Oh, come on, love. It's not that bad, is it? You've only just arrived. Why not give the place a chance before you go looking for a way out? Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm afraid I don't know if there's a way out or not. But now that I think about it, you might want to talk to Degland over at the Honest Trader. Offered to sell me a way out a while back, but his price was steep. Up to you. Bye for now.
Hello again, my friend.
My story. Well, my name is Degland, and I'm a merchant, yeah? But people say to me, Degland, they say, Degland, why are you a merchant? They find it surprising because I'm such an honest and trustworthy person. And sometimes you hear about your merchants who are, you know, dishonest. Well, I say to those people, I'm not like them. My father used to say to me, Degland, you can't be like the others. You be a good boy. And I was, my friend. I was not only just a good boy, I was the best boy. The best boy now and the best merchant with the best prices for you. My friend, you're in luck. I actually do, but let's keep it down, eh? Don't want anyone else to hear, do we? But I'll be honest with you, my friend. I'm looking after you. There's a bit of a catch. See, it's only going to work for one person yet. I've been keeping it to myself, you know, thinking maybe I'll need it myself one day. But I'm a reasonable guy, yeah. I reckon I could be, what's the word, persuaded? Persuaded to give it away for, say, 1,000 gold coins? My friend, I can tell you it involves magic. Very special and very rare magic. But I shouldn't say any more than that. I need to eat, you know. Well, I like you, so I'm going to be honest with you. Business here, it's hard, you know. Really hard. I'm doing it tough, yeah? And if I don't have the coin to pay the Jarl, then I lose my shop. I'm out in the cold. I have no money and no food, yeah? What I'm saying is, I need the money, my friend. That's all I need. Oh, good choice, my friend. You won't regret it. Oh, and if you do, no refunds. Not that it'll matter, because you'll be out of here in no time. And here it is. It's called an elixir of acrobatics. I got it from an alchemist in Morrowind years ago, and I've kept it with me just in case. And now it's all yours. Once you drink it, you'll be able to jump like a skeever on skooma. You should be able to leap up to the shaft at the entrance. Now go, my friend. Get out of here and be free.
Hello there. See you again soon.
Hey!
I hope.
I hear you dealt with those You wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I'll tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the dwarves' law. But once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyways. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. And that's about all I know. You should go and talk to Brohl in his chambers if you want to know more. Well, come on back any time you like.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Run! Everyone run! Run! Everyone run!
You must stop this from happening.
You there! Where did you come from?
What are you talking about? I've never met you. You're right. I was. How could you have possibly known that? Is that some kind of sorcerer? Well, I don't want any trouble. Let me get out of your way. Let's forget this happened, shall we? Friend, you really should be speaking with the Jarl, not me.
Welcome, love. I'll be seeing you around, love.
Ah, newcomer. You should head on up to the Citadel. Make yourself known to the Jarl. Farewell.
We can talk, but be quick.
The Jarl has asked that we direct all newcomers to his quarters on the top floor.
Oh, I remember the... Oh my. It's very nice of you to take an interest in my life, dear. But you don't need to humor an old woman. Really? Well, you're the first person in the city to say that. Well, let's see. These days I mostly just sweep the streets here, keep them clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness, or so they say. It's not very inspiring, as you can imagine, but the alternative is to wind up like poor Dooley. Oh, you haven't met him yet? Don't worry, I'm sure he'll introduce himself to you sooner or later. He's homeless. He lives in a cave by the lake. I feel sorry for him. I think most of us do. But ever since his brother died, he's been obsessing over some long-lost treasure. The Jarl decided because he can't work, he doesn't deserve to live in a house like the rest of us. So he lives in a tent in a cave of sorts. But don't let him drag you into it. I'm quite sure it's imaginary. A great loss can do terrible things to a person's mind. Well, anyway, that's about all there is about me to tell, I'm afraid. I'm not very interesting. Well, the most important thing in my life is prayer. So let me ask you, have you found room in your heart for Mara, the Mother Goddess? Yes, of course, dear. Don't worry, I get that reaction a lot. Perhaps I'll see you later.
There's a face I don't recognize. Welcome to my city. I'm Jarl Metellus. Tell me, what is your name? It's always exciting to meet a new member of our small community. Now, before I forget, since you're here for good, you'll need some quarters. Here's a key to the last vacant chambers down in the city, between Brawl and Luki. It's all yours. Now tell me, what brings you to my city? I sent you here. I'm not sure what you mean. Well, let's see. This is my handwriting. The victims of an unspeakable atrocity. I will open a portal that will take you into the past. You must go back. This is real, isn't it? I've even toyed with the idea of creating a portal between 2 points in time, with Brawl's help. But that's odd. My letter makes no mention of what caused the disaster. I suppose I was in a hurry. So tell me, what's going to happen to us? So the dwarves' law is real, after all, just as we always suspected. But you know who broke it? Who was the culprit? You? But why? What did you do? You're just gods. What is wrong with you? Well, it seems you've been given a second chance. I trust you won't make the same mistake again. Now, assuming you can control yourself this time, I need you to do a favor for me. I need you to investigate the city, talk to my people, help them, if it'll win their trust. You can even go through their possessions, if you have to. You must work out who is going to break the dwarves' law. Once you have a name, come back and tell me immediately. As Jarl, I authorize you to go anywhere you... I can't promise either of those things, but I will certainly do everything within my power to help you once you've helped my people. And of course, if you decide to stay, I would make sure you enjoy a comfortable life here. Now what do you say? Will you help me? No? What do you mean, no? Don't you realize you're in just as much danger as the rest of us? Look, don't think you're getting out of here alive without my help. I expect you'll come around to my way of thinking, once you realize that. Now get out of my citadel, and come back once you're willing to see sense. Now, yes, that's right. Well, have you come to your senses now? Thank you. Now, you mustn't tell anybody where you're from, or what may be about to happen here. People do foolish things when they panic. If it helps you, you're welcome to borrow the book on my desk. It contains the names and addresses of my subjects. Just don't show it to anyone. Goodbye for now, and good luck. I don't need to tell you what will happen if you fail. There's a face I don't recognize. Welcome to my city. I'm Jarl Mate. The matter we discussed? Well, I hope your investigation has been thorough. I don't want you accusing the first person you suspect. So, who is it? But you said... Oh, never mind. Just make sure you get it right. I'll have to trust your judgment, and there's no going back once you point the finger. All right, well, let me know when you've worked it out. I'll have to trust your judgment, and there's no going back once you point the finger. Of course. What do you want me to clarify? I'll talk to you soon, I hope.
Got my... What? Did you say something to me? No use talking to me, young un. Can't hear a word you're saying. Both me ears went years ago. Still got my one good eye, though. All I need. Used to be a vigilant offender till I slipped up. You take it from me. You ever find yourself toe-to-toe with the flame Atronach, you make sure you put some distance between you before you kill it. Otherwise, whoosh! Eyes, ears, and hair gone, all at the same time. Sorry, young'un, no idea what you're saying. Didn't catch a word. And I'll be honest, being deaf ain't half so bad as you'd think. No one bothering you, asking questions. Still can't hear ya.
Hello there, dear. New in town?
Oh, hello there.
There's a looter. I saw a man. If he makes it into the city and starts attacking people, he'll break the dwarves' Is it over? Is it safe? Oh, thank you so much. If there's ever anything my husband Tabik and I can do to help you, just ask.
Hello. Hello, neighbor. Would you like to hear about my research? My story? Well, that's second. You would have. And finally, my story is really much less interesting than this mysterious. Yes, alright. Was there something else? Now, my thinking is that if there was a way out of here, the dwarves who built this place must have known about it.
We can talk, but be quick. Domitus could be back any second.
Heard you got to kill those looters. Wish I could have joined you. I haven't been allowed to fight in years.
I heard you took down some bandits. Wish I could have sunk my axe into one of them. Hello there, young lady. You look nice.
Ah, still here, I see. Did you drink your elixir yet? I'm not surprised. It was just potato moonshine and a glob of spit for good measure. But don't be too hard on yourself. You're not the first sucker to fall for that old trick, and you won't be the last. Pfft, looks like the dwarfs weren't too concerned about, what's the word, enterprises like mine when they wrote their law. Tough luck, eh? I already told you, no refunds. It's my gold now, and there's nothing you can do about it. Gotta remember the dwarf's law, eh? Hey, take it easy. You want to upset the dwarfs and get us all killed? Here's your money. Take it and get lost. Hey, I don't... Yeah, whatever.
Bye. Oh, hello.
Hello again, my friend. Any word... Well, I hope your investigation has been thorough. I don't want you accusing the first person you suspect. So, who is it? By the gods! That sounds like a fast way to provoke someone into breaking the dwarf's law if ever I've heard one. That must be it. There's only one thing left to do. I need you to kill him for me. But you need to be discreet about it, so as not to break the dwarf's law. You see, I believe we're being watched by the dwarven statues and busts all around the city. But there are blind spots, areas where they can't see us. One of those areas is the tunnels below the city. If you can lure your suspect down there and kill him, no one will ever know. Ugly business, I know. But it's the only way to save my people, to save us all. It'll be our little secret. Can I count on you one last time? Good. Thank you. Now, here's a key to the tunnels under the city. You can enter via the basement of your own chambers, or any of the others. I knew I could count on you. Sometimes even good people have to do regrettable things. Let me know once it's done.
There she is. Such a pretty thing. Looking to make a purchase, my friend. Underneath the city. So there is a way to unlock the door in my basement. I'll come, but if we find anything valuable, I'm taking 60%. Yes, my friend. This was all a ruse designed to lure me down. But no one was safe. Well, I just have to make sure they're here.
way the
This can't be happening!
Ruined.
Well, that's a relief. Say, I didn't catch your name. Really? That's strange. I was just reading an old journal I found here. It was burnt, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 7 years ago. Someone with your name appeared in the city out of the lake house. Said hardly a word to anyone. Walked up to the Jarl and murdered him, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said this triggered a horrific event which killed everyone in the city, while the stranger just disappeared in a flash of light. I'm not sure I understand. I'm sorry, come again? Let me see that.
Gods. This is my handwriting. I have spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles.
This is horrible. But I don't understand how I could have written it. I'm not sure I understand. So, you're saying, because you stopped a time portal from being opened, I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this. I guess you saved my life then. But look at all the death and destruction you've caused. There must have been another way. And now you and I are going to have to live with the knowledge of what happened here for the rest of our lives. I almost wish you'd just let me die. I've been ready to get out of here from the moment I set foot in this place. I have one idea. There might be a way out through the bathroom, through the pipes that bring water into the city. There's a cracked wall. I'm not strong enough. But I think if you hit it really hard with a mace or a warhammer, we might be able to escape through there. It's this way.
Atreus, there you are! Thank the gods you're all right. What kept you so long?
Sorry, Cass. I got lost in there for a while. If you hadn't sent your friend in to help me, I would have been trapped down there for good. And that place gives me the creeps. It's littered with burnt corpses. And the whole time I was down there, I felt like I was being watched. How about we get some sleep, and then head back to Markarth?
Well, all right. But first, let me thank our friend. Thank you so much for bringing him back in one piece. I really thought I'd lost him. I can't thank you enough. Now, I promised you a reward. This is something I always carry with me, and it's become very dear to me. I'd like you to have it. Thanks again. My brother and I are in your debt. I'd love to chat. Still here, my friend?